Ladies and gentlemen, the final top 10 best of 2016 for the world of wrestling. And today's video is the biggie. The best wrestlers of 2016. Brought to you by your boy, Deluxe Man. And yes, we are so anticlimactic. I just wanted to, mix it up a little bit. But guys, I'm excited about this one. I am going to talk about the top 10 best wrestlers of 2016. The creme de la creme from every promotion we've seen this year. The creme de la creme from PWG, from Lucha Underground, from NXT, from WWE, from ROH, from TNA, you name it. These guys are the men, because I already did women on Wednesday. These are the men that shaped, carried, produced, and overall made wrestling awesome in the year 2016. And they, to me, are the reason why we still have a business going forward into the future. And they all will be highlighted as I get into the top 10 list. Give me your top 10 best wrestlers of 2016, or just give me your favorite wrestler. It could be in the comments, it could be in the live chat, but contribute, guys. Let me see your opinions on this subject. But before we get into things, like the video, subscribe, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. If you watched it all, hashtag watched it all. Fan voting is officially closed. We will get the results of who you guys said are the winners of the categories tomorrow when I do my end of the year awards. Guys, that is tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central. The end of the year awards brought to you by your boy, Deluxe Man. And yes, it will also be live. So this is going to be a great video. I want to thank the stage man for helping me make the picture or the cover art of the video. I will happily showcase him a lot in that video tomorrow because he has helped my channel out a lot and he deserves a lot more followers. If you have not seen his work, I'll put a link to his channel and his Facebook and everything that he does on social media down below in the description, and he'll definitely get another plug tomorrow. But I just wanted to say thank you to him for everything that he's done for me this year. But with that said, enough jibber jabber. Let's get to the top 10 best wrestlers of 2016. Honorable mentions, of course. A couple of people did not make the list, but they deserve some mention because we had a lot of great performers this year. Just like my top 10 matches of 2016, this one was kind of difficult, but really when you look at the list, wasn't really that difficult. I think these top 10 wrestlers, and I mean all wrestlers, this isn't just a list of WWE wrestlers, this isn't just a list of TNA or ROH or NXT wrestlers, it's a list of wrestlers that composites every promotion. So these are like the top wrestlers of the entire world. And this is how I feel about it. But these are the men, the 5 men I'm about to mention to you that didn't make the list, but they do deserve honorable mention. Number 1 is Sami Zayn. I thought Sami Zayn didn't quite crack the list this year. He had a lot of great matches. Him and Kevin Owens had arguably a match of the year candidate for WWE at Battleground. Had a ton of great matches on NXT, including a match of the year against Shinsuke Nakamura and NXT Dallas. He just missed the list. I was debating on having either him or Ricochet. Excuse me. I say it again. Ricochet on the list, and guess who won out, unfortunately. Another person who didn't make the list, Cesaro. Cesaro is someone else who is a great performer, fantastic athlete, one of the best performers in WWE, but didn't quite make the list this year. I kind of felt like he didn't really do much. I mean, looking back on it, yeah, they didn't really do much with him this year, which is a very, very, very sad thing to note. He did get injured, which put him out a good portion of the year. He did come back, though, and I don't think they really capitalized on his return. He was just another face in the company, and he shouldn't have been. Yes, he became tag team champion with Sheamus. With that said, he shouldn't be going for no tag team championships. Cesaro is above the mid cards at this point, but WWE doesn't feel that way. Tetsuya Naito from New Japan Pro Wrestling, awesome heel. Love seeing him work in that promotion. Just a really smart Eddie Guerrero-esque heel that does a really good job as a worker, as a performer. He definitely deserves some mention in this video. I'm trying to think who else. Those three. Who else I didn't mention? Oh, Dean Ambrose didn't make the list. Yeah, I know. Dean Ambrose, former world champion, didn't make the list. Seth Rollins didn't make the list. You just make the list. No, Seth Rollins didn't make the list. Again, injury put him out for a while. And quite frankly, since he came back, he didn't really do much. He had a better year. I felt like his best year was 2014. Like, he was the man. One of the best performers in the world. Like, I'm not taking anything away from him. Absolutely not. But for me, there were better wrestlers. I really do feel like this was not the year for Seth Rollins. Although, man, just a fantastic wrestler overall. Who else didn't make the list that people are probably going to be upset didn't make it? I'm just trying to think. Let's see. I think like that covers a lot of people. No, Roman Reigns didn't make the list. Just go ahead and put it out there. I'm pretty sure the Roman Reigns haters, of course he didn't make the list. You don't like Roman Reigns. I'm sorry, but it's sad to me that the guy main evented WrestleMania. This is his second time main eventing WrestleMania this year. And I still feel like he's not anywhere close to being as over as WWE wants him to be. Just saying. So I don't know what the deal is with him. Here's the deal. He's not a heel. I promise you he'll get over WWE, but I'm not going to waste my breath on that. It doesn't really matter. Dolph Ziggler didn't make the list. Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton. There are certain people that you probably think should have made the list, but didn't. But those guys in particular, those four, Sami Zayn, those five, excuse me. Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Naito. Sorry, those guys didn't make the list. But I think when you listen to my reasoning behind all the people on the list, you'll go, okay, all right. I think I understand why. So, with that said, let's get into it. Number 10 on my list is Ricochet, a.k.a. Prince Puma from Lucha Underground. He had an amazing year this year. I think he's a tag team champion. He was a former, I think he won the Trios Championship belts. Yes, he did. He didn't win the Lucha Underground World Championship this year, but he competed against Rey Mysterio. Had an amazing match against Rey Mysterio. Had a lot of amazing matches on PWG, including a match against Will Ospreay that sparked discussion among social media, wrestling fans, and people inside the business. Just an all-out amazing performer. I dare say, along with Will Ospreay, he is the hottest indie wrestler in the world. Like, anytime you see his name on the card, you're going to go, oh, yeah, this is going to be a great show. Anytime you see his name in the match, you go, oh, this match is going to be insane. And he hasn't failed to deliver one time. The guy is an amazing performer. And I think he is WWE branded. He is eventually going to get there one day. But I want him to enjoy himself on the indies as much as possible. There are some things in this world that we think are humanly impossible, and this guy can do it. 360 splashes, double rotation moonsaults, 450s, springboard, hurricane ranas, everything you can do. And on top of that, he's strong. He's deceptively strong. You think he can't do much, but trust me, the guy is stronger than how he appears. It's like Shelton Benjamin. You ever seen Shelton Benjamin wrestle and see him show these like crazy feats of strength? Because you look at him and go, he's just a high flyer, but then he can pick anybody up. So I love seeing Ricochet working, work inside that ring. He's definitely a top 10 for me on this list. So That's number 10. Number 9, Ibushi. Had a ton of great matches in New Japan Pro Wrestling, as well as his standout performance in the Cruiserweight Classic. I just kind of feel like you can't really look at the Cruiserweight Classic and see how successful it became and say it would be that successful without Kota Ibushi. It's kind of hard to really sit down and say that, and you can't. I think Kota Ibushi, to me, is definitely one of the best wrestlers in the world today. Like, it is without question. You see his name, and that's something you're going to hear a lot about this top 10 list. I'm probably going to repeat myself too much by saying it, but when you see their names on the card, you go, oh yeah, this match is going to be good. You at least get the feeling of, oh, I got to see this match. And I get that feeling with Kota Ibushi. To me, I kind of feel like, how do I put this? It's really hard for me to put this into words, but the best way to describe it is you look at Kota Ibushi and go, yeah, he's a star. It factor, whatever you want to call it. And I kind of feel like if he was to be exposed to a bigger audience, you know, and I'm always kind of fearful of wrestlers like Kota Ibushi being exposed to the American audience of anything else, because we're so conditioned to liking people with a certain look and a certain charm and a certain persona and a certain presence that Kota Ibushi is different, but he's different enough to where the flavor of his different persona and his different look and the way he carries himself will still be attractive to the audience. You know, it's kind of like Shinsuke Nakamura, and I'll get more into that later on in the list. Spoiler alert. But, you know, these guys have this presence to them that say, yeah, they're going to get over with the American audience. And I'm talking about that Jackie Chan, Jet Li, quote-unquote, insert amazing Japanese fighter or movie star here that goes, yeah, I got to see these two fight. Yeah, man, he's amazing. Just an amazing performer. Some of the most devastating kicks in the world. Yeah, so love Kota Ibushi. Number 8, former IC champion, current Universal champion. I'm trying to think, what else did he do this year? I think he had an awesome match with Sami Zayn. Tons of awesome matches with Sami Zayn. Just an all-around amazing performer. And although I'm not a fan of how he's being booked at the moment, you can't tell me that this guy did not have an amazing year here in 2016. That man is Kevin Owens. He's a father, damn it! The son of Kevin Owens must be extremely proud of his dad. You know, you got to imagine seeing your father become a superstar like this. And you know what, man? You've always known Kevin Steen to be a great wrestler, to be a great performer. But I think we all kind of had that fear that when he went to WWE, he was going to get the shaft, that he was going to be, quote unquote, buried, you know, not given an opportunity to shine. And let me say this, WWE was forced to push Kevin Owens like he was because Kevin Owens gave him no choice. Wrestlers like Kevin Owens give you no choice but to admire them, but to admit that he is one of the best performers in the world. And I think Kevin Owens will indeed go down as one of the best talents to enter a WWE ring. And he has a ton of years in front of him. Love his matches. Some of the best matches this year in WWE, period. I dare say period, man. Love his fatal four-way for the IC Championship. Love his matches against Sami Zayn. He has some really good matches with Seth Rollins. You know, Dean Ambrose. I can go on forever. That ladder match at WrestleMania. Just a lot of great, outstanding matches involving Kevin Owens. But on top of that, him as a character, him as a worker on the microphone, just an all-around talent. You cannot tell me Kevin Owens isn't one of the best in the world. You cannot. You can't. You can't. It's impossible to have a top 10 list without Kevin Owens. You know, you can get mad at me for not putting on Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and Cesaro and Sami Zayn. But I think everybody can agree that if I didn't put Kevin Owens on this list is null and void. There is no top 10 list without Kevin Owens. There really isn't. So, yeah, I do believe Kevin Owens definitely is one of the top 10 wrestlers of 2016, bar none. Number 7, moving right along, comes from England, the British sensation himself. One of the best talents in the indie circuit, arguably the best talent in the indie circuit. His name is Will Ospreay. And you guys know I am a huge fan of him. I think besides the fact that he is the king of flips and kicks and hurricane ranas, and you know, he has that AJ Styles feel to him to where you almost have to watch him because you don't know what he's going to do. My only issue with him, and this is something I will knock him for, I think Will Ospreay's main issue isn't his microphone skills, isn't his look, isn't really his ability to put on a good match. His selling, you know, his psychology. Let me put it to you that way. The psychology of his matches are really the last hurdle that's stopping him from being literally top 5 wrestlers of the world. I think if he gets down the science of psychology, learns how to sell just a little bit better. I mean, he's selling. Let me just put that out there. He is selling in his matches. I think he does sell depending on who he's wrestling and depending on the crowd he's in front of and depending on the kind of match you're trying to have. He can sell. I don't think he's done enough for at least me to say he's top 5. That's why he's number 7. With that said, though, that's the only thing that I find an issue with when it comes to Will Ospreay. Psychology. Once he gets psychology down, once he gets that to a point where he can do it just like that, I will say he is the top indie wrestler in the world and ex AJ Styles. Now, I know some people hate that I use people to compare where or how good someone is, but you need an idea of how good I see this kid is. He is amazing. Will Ospreay is one of the best performers without touching a WWE ring. And that, my friends, is something I think is going to be amazing for him when he does eventually come. I do hope he does make it to WWE, and I hope they don't cut down his style too much because, you know, we got this Cruiserweight division, the 205 Live, the entire shebang. I think he'd be great with it. I think he'd be great in it. So, without question, Will Ospreay is one of the best wrestlers, top 10 wrestlers of 2016. Now, number 6 on the list might surprise some of you, but after contemplation and just tons and tons of meditation on it, I have accepted the fact that broken brilliance has taken over wrestling. And number 6 on my list is Mr. Delete, Broken Matt Hardy. I cannot believe I'm praising Matt Hardy in 2016. Matt Hardy has done something that not a lot of wrestlers have been able to do in years. He has sparked interest. And I'm not just talking about for TNA, for wrestling. Man, I'll tell you what. I have never in my life thought I would see the day where Matt Hardy, first off, became more popular than Jeff. Yeah, I think Matt Hardy has surpassed Jeff Hardy in terms of popularity, in terms of performance, in terms of just an overall must-see character to watch. You know, I am fully invested in the Broken Matt Hardy gimmick. And I love it because he's not half-assing it. You know what I'm saying? He is going all in it. He plays that character not just on screen, but off screen. And this is some of the best work Matt has done his entire life. And it's proven once and for all what a legend Matt Hardy is. You can argue whether you like Final Deletion, Delete versus Decay, Delete or Decay, or Total Nonstop Deletion. You can sit here and say that it's rip off Lucha Underground. It is. You can sit here and say that it isn't realistic. It's not the kind of wrestling you're into. It's too insane. It's too hokey. And yeah, I will say this. Total Nonstop Deletion, I didn't like as much as I liked Final Deletion and Delete and Decay. The second one is my favorite, by the way. It's just, to me, it was too out there. People are getting killed. Someone fell into literally a volcano, got shot up out of it, and took the pinfall 1, 2, 3. He survived. He was alive. I couldn't really buy it that hard. It was so insane that I was like, okay, reel it in. You know, Matt really needs to have someone put a leash on him because he had way too much creative control for that episode. But with that said, TNA needs to thank their lucky stars that Matt Hardy decided to do that for them. Because everywhere you go, WWE, NXT, PWG, ROH, anywhere, even New Japan Pro Wrestling, you hear delete, delete, delete. His catchphrase has gone global in the world of wrestling, and he deserves by far to be in the top 5, top 10, the bottom 5. That's not what I was trying to say. At least to be in the bottom 5, and that's just something to me that I am definitely looking into. When I look at the top wrestlers that literally shaped the year here in 2016, yeah, Broken Matt Hardy did that. So thank you, Matt, for first off reminding me what a great wrestler you are, but also what an amazing talent and a legend that you are. Matt Hardy and Jeff should go into the Hall of Fame eventually one of these days. But I am kind of scared when he does return to WWE because I don't think they're going to let him do the Broken Matt Hardy gimmick all that much. But it's still a great thing. So before we move on to number 5, I want everybody to do one last big Brother Nero. Everybody do it. Come on, you know you want to do it. And then maybe one more final deletion. I knew you'd come. Yeah, man. Thank you, Matt Hardy, for a great year all around. So let's go ahead and move on to number 5. Not another wrestler that I did not think I would love as much as I did this year. Ever since he had that confrontation with Daniel Bryan on Talking Smack, his career has taken off. One of the best, and I literally mean best heels in wrestling today. You can't argue with this one. This pick definitely deserves to be in top 10. Let's just get to it. Number 5 on my list is The Miz. The Miz. Pinching myself. The Miz. I'm in shock that The Miz is actually in my top 10 list, and I am okay with it. I am perfectly fine with The Miz. The Miz! You know, same Mike Mizanin, crazy, wacky, bad movie-making Miz is literally having the best year of his life, his career. I put his run as IC champion, or everything he's done this year, above his WWE championship run in 2010, 2011. Yeah. How he is now is better than how he was in 2011. I don't mind saying that. I'm not taking that back. This is the best he's ever been. His work with Ziggler, his work with, on Raw, with Maurice, of all people. Maurice has been, I think Maurice is a big reason for that too. But Maurice has been the guardian, I wouldn't say guardian angel, but she's definitely helped out his career, his look, his presence, his persona. And I think him and Maurice are such a great power couple that I would rival them. I wouldn't rival them with Triple H and Stephanie, but I rival them with the greatest power couples in history. I just loved his work, man. Most of all, besides having great matches, besides being able to carry a match, besides his stuff with Daniel Bryan to a point where I want to see Bryan kick his ass, which I probably won't see, there's always this issue I have with wrestling fans, or just wrestling in general, where we come to love the heels and hate the baby faces, because baby faces are just not booked very well in WWE or in other promotions. You love the heels. You want to see villains succeed, which is not how it should be. it's great to have a villain like The Miz who you want to see get beat up and love seeing get beat up. You know, you admire him as a performer. You respect him as a talent, but you don't want him to succeed. You don't want him to, you know, brag about his accomplishments. You want someone to shut him up. And it's good to finally have a heel that does his job properly. You know, I don't hate Kevin Owens. You know, I love Kevin Owens. I don't hate Chris Jericho, who didn't make the list, by the way. I'm pretty sure I'll make the list for not saying Chris Jericho. But I'm telling you right now, man, Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens, I'm trying to think of other heroes. Braun Strowman, AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton. These are people I don't hate. They're people that I don't want to see get beat up. They're heels, but I don't really hate them. I hate The Miz. Like, it's to a point where I don't hate him to a point where I don't want to choke him out. But, you know, the fact that he's carrying around the IC Championship and, you know, claiming that he's making it prestigious, the reason that hate is existing is because he's right. You know that villain that is egotistic. He is just a big, fat, unlikable piece of work. But everything he says is true. You know, it's just like, God damn it, Miz. And then he does some stuff that makes you just, even when he makes you laugh, it's just like, God, I hate you. I like that time where he was not fighting, but he had a segment with Dean Ambrose on SmackDown. And then he gave Dean Ambrose the participation award because although he came close to beating AJ Styles in TLC, he didn't quite get it. So he gave them the Miz's participation award. And I just sit there and went, oh, you asshole, but that was good. You know, it's just like, oh, I don't like you right now, but that one was a good one. Chanting, you deserve it. Oh my God. Just a great year for The Miz. One of his best years in his career and definitely a top 10 wrestler 2016 for me. Number 4 on the list comes from New Japan Pro Wrestling. It is Kenny Omega. Took over the Bullet Club. This was the year for Kenny Omega. What a year for him. Took over the Bullet Club, was an IWGP. Thank you, IWGP, Intercontinental Champion. Won the G1 Climax. Had some of the best matches this year with Michael Elgin, Naito, Hiroshi, and all these other great wrestlers. Just an amazing performer all around. But this was the year, and I've been waiting for Kenny Omega to break out. I've always felt Kenny Omega was someone that could be a top star anywhere he went. He could have been a top star in WWE, and I will stand by that. I don't care what anybody says, but he didn't want to come to WWE for good reason. But I've always just waited, just kind of sat back and just gone, all right, eventually this guy has to get his time in the spotlight. Because you look at Kenny Omega and you go, this man's amazing. Oops, sorry about that. This guy has everything you can want. He has a look. He has a mind for the business. He understands how to make a great match, how to work a great match, how to get the crowd to hate him or love him. You know, charisma. He has, dare I say, the total package. You know, and finally in 2016, he was able to break away from that mid-card scene in New Japan Pro Wrestling and finally become a top guy. I honestly believe he is a top guy in wrestling. And when he fights Okada at Wrestle Kingdom 11, I'm going to be in his corner. I'm going to be rooting for him to win that belt, and I hope he has a good run with it. I am proud of Kenny Omega. I'm proud to see him finally grow into that main event performer that I knew he was. And I look forward to seeing what he does in the near future. So, Kenny Omega, number 4. Top 3 should be pretty easy to figure out. I'm pretty sure you guys can figure out at least one of them. But number 3 goes to someone I thought, if you thought he was awesome in TNA, you haven't seen anything yet. It's someone that I felt was, to me, made for WWE. And I was waiting for so long to see him finally get to the company and just take it by storm. And I think when he gets to the main roster, you are going to see the resurgence of a modern day Brock Lesnar in this man. And that is Samoa Joe. Samoa freaking Joe, the Samoan submission machine. What an amazing year he had. I mean, just straight up awesome year. Matches with Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, beat the Demon, beat the undefeated Demon that nobody else has beat. The only man to beat the Demon, Finn Balor. Awesome matches against Shinsuke Nakamura, the very first ever NXT champion, two-time NXT champion, excuse me. A monster inside the ring. Just, he gives you that Brock Lesnar aura where it's just like you see him and you get scared. You're like, oh my God, I don't want to be in the same room with him. Or, you know, you're going to say, I don't want to piss him off. When he's fuming, I am in a different house or in a different country. I'm not going to be in the same area as Samoa Joe when he's pissed off, because people get hurt, as people seen here on NXT. Love his run when he was tearing up NXT and, you know, interfering in matches and beating people up during his feud with Shinsuke Nakamura. And his intensity, by the way, people don't talk about this, but Samoa Joe is awesome on the microphone. Can we just stop and admire what a great microphone worker he is? The intensity, the way he delivers you know, his words, the way he strings them together. It just seems like he's such a natural speaker. And he sounds intelligent, like he's calculating. Now, when you have someone as strong and fast and agile as Samoa Joe, and he's big, like a heavyweight, super heavyweight even, but he's fast like a cruiserweight. He wrestles like a cruiserweight, but he's as strong as a super heavyweight. When you have someone with that kind of a monstrous appeal to him, the fact that he's also intelligent should scare you. Like, he is someone that I feel like if you're not careful, he'll hurt you in more ways than one. He'll hurt you emotionally and he'll hurt you physically. It's someone that I felt, if you really stop and think about it, if anybody was going to beat Brock Lesnar or give him that loss that nobody else could give, I thought it should have been Samoa Joe. Now, it didn't end up being Samoa Joe. It was Goldberg. You know, Goldberg came back and beat Brock Lesnar. But I kind of feel like Samoa Joe should have been the one to do it. That should have been something that Samoa Joe should have gotten. Because I do believe if we ever were to lose Brock Lesnar in any shape or form, he retires or gets fired or goes somewhere else, Samoa Joe can easily be put into that spot, and I would buy it. He is a machine. Stone Cold Steve Austin himself said give him the green light monster push straight to the top when he gets to the main roster. And I agree with him. Amazing champion. One of the best champions this year, too. You know, you can't get any better in terms of heavyweights, in terms of the full package big man wrestler than Samoa Joe. So there you go, guys. Samoa Joe, number 3. Number 2 is someone that took the world of New Japan by storm last year. Someone that easily became one of the best wrestlers ever in such a short period of time. He's charismatic. He's eccentric. And when you hear him go, yeah, you will soon know what the King of Strong Style is going to do to you, brother. I don't know what I was doing with that. Did I just mix up Hulk Hogan and Shinsuke Nakamura? I don't know where I was going. I'm tired. These top 10 lists have worn me out. Whatever the case. Number 2 is Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh my God. Without question, one of the best performers ever. Just an amazing top quality talent to just take the world by storm, man. Just all around. I think all his matches have been good to great, especially in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He had an amazing match with AJ Styles. People are considering one of the best matches of the year. Sami Zayn, again, another match that people consider to be one of the best matches of the year. Awesome feud with Samoa Joe. Top merchandise seller. Isn't even on the freaking main roster, and people know who he is and love him and can't wait to see him. Again, I talk about someone who should beat Brock Lesnar. Samoa Joe was one. I would dare say it's Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura is another one. just an amazing performer. Can speak multiple languages apparently. Still working on his English. Not mad at him about that. That's fine. He's gonna get better with it. But eventually he will. And the sky's the limit for him, man. What is he? A 3-time? No, he's a 2-time. He's also a 2-time NXT champion. I was about to say 3-time. Jesus, another 3-time. One of the only two 2-time NXT champions to ever do it in NXT. Just a big star waiting to just take the world by storm. I am deathly afraid of what's going to happen to him when he gets to the main roster. But I will say this. If he as good as I think he is, if he is able to really just be himself and they don't change a damn thing about him when he gets to the main roster, you're going to see another Kevin Owens in terms of they will be forced to push him. They will be forced to showcase him in a great way. So without question, number 2 on my list is Shinsuke Nakamura. We all know what number 1 is. Go ahead and say it. His name is AJ Styles. And I guarantee you, 90% of the people in this world that do top 10 lists in not just in WWE, but in wrestling, period, 90% of those people that actually try to do what I'm doing here and name the best wrestlers of 2016, their number 1 pick will be AJ Styles because this was his year. You don't get any better than a debut year in wrestling has never been this good. This good. Kevin Owens had a great debut year, but it wasn't this debut year. I'm trying to think of someone other than Hulk Hogan. When he first came into WWE, he took the entire world by storm his first year there. Let me see. I'm trying to think. It's hard to imagine. I'm trying to think of somebody besides Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle. Yeah, man, it's a very short list of people that had an amazing first year and became the top guy in the company in his first year. Look back to 2016. Just look back through it. We can talk about his match against Shinsuke Nakamura at Wrestle Kingdom 10, his match against Jay Lethal, the debut at the Royal Rumble, one of the biggest pops, one of the biggest headlines of the year. AJ Styles debuts at the Royal Rumble. What a way to debut. What an awesome way to debut for AJ Styles. It's a big pop. Had an awesome feud with Chris Jericho. Didn't win the WrestleMania, but still a really good feud. Had an awesome feud, awesome matches with Roman Reigns. Had an awesome match of the year with John Cena at SummerSlam. Had a really good feud with Dean Ambrose that culminated with a really awesome match at TLC. And then most of all, look at the list of people he's beaten. He's beaten Chris Jericho. He's beaten Dean Ambrose. He's beaten John freaking Cena in his first year here. Not just once, but twice. One was dirty and one was clean. And then to cap it all off, he ends the year as your WWE World Champion. World Heavyweight Champion, WWE Champion. I don't care. He has the top belt in the company. He ends the year with the top belt. I'm sorry, but there is no other man this year that has done and accomplished as much as AJ Styles did this year. And he isn't slowing down one bit. He is every bit as talented, as awesome, as agile, as fast as he's ever been. And most of all, one of the issues I had with AJ Styles was his microphone work. He's good in the microphone now. He's good enough. Like, even the issues that we had with AJ Styles, he's able to fix them. He has become the guy to watch, the performer. He has eclipsed Seth Rollins. He has eclipsed Roman Reigns. He has eclipsed Dean Ambrose and John Cena. He is the best wrestler in 2016, bar none. He is the best wrestler in the world without question. And if anybody was going to argue against it, I want to hear who you have to say is better than AJ Styles. Because you have to tell me something for me to even think that this guy, whoever you have, can compare to AJ Styles. Because I'm sorry, there is nothing you can tell me to say. This was not one of the best debut years in history. What a debut year. What an awesome debut year for AJ Styles. Just an all-around amazing athlete. And above all else, what I like about AJ Styles is, although he's a jerk on screen, really good heel. You know, good heel worker, good babyface worker, can work both roles. But he's a good person. Just a good guy off screen. You can just sense. You don't even have to know him. You can just sense that he is an awesome person off screen. And, you know, I'm happy for him. I am happy for AJ, man. You know, he went so many years literally being the best performer to never walk into a WWE ring. And, you know, if he wanted to, and this is my thing, if he wanted to, if AJ Styles wanted to, he could have never showed up in WWE and still would have at least been able to go into someone's top 50 greatest wrestlers of all time. But now, since he's gone to WWE, it is without question a surefire Hall of Fame ticket. Without question, surefire slot into the top 50 wrestlers of all time. And guess what, guys? He still has a lot of years ahead of him. He's not done yet. Now, eventually, he will have to slow down. But how much he slows down depends on him. We talk about people like Shawn Michaels. We talk about people like Undertaker, people who have wrestled in their old ages, in their senior years, their not so younger years, but still can do it, can still go and have a great match. I think AJ Styles is one of them. Absolutely. And I've said this before. The biggest compliment that I can give AJ Styles, and I'll end it with this. There have been so many people, there have been so many wrestlers that have come into WWE and said, and this pertains to John Cena, by the way. If I was around when John Cena first came to WWE and I was given everything that John Cena got, I would be the face of the company. I would be the bread maker. I would have made as much money, if not more, than him. And, you know, there have been many people who say that. CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen, many people. The only person, and this is how I feel about it, the only person that I honestly believe can say that and it be absolutely true is AJ Styles. You take John Cena, everything he's done in his life, take him out of the equation, replace him with AJ Styles, and you have everything that he did in TNA. That includes all the awesome matches he had with Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels, but you replace those guys with a Rey Mysterio and a Batista and an Edge and Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero, and you replace AJ Styles during those years when he was wrestling at his prime, wrestling against an Eddie Guerrero, a Rey Mysterio, an Edge, a Batista, a Brock Lesnar, a Kurt Angle, if he was to have gone to Raw, John Cena, Shawn Michaels, Shelton Benjamin, just Triple H, Triple freaking H. That is the best compliment I can give AJ Styles. And I think about, yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, he definitely, in my personal opinion, would have done wonders for WWE if he was to have come in when John Cena did. He didn't, of course, but that is the best compliment I can give AJ Styles. So there you go, guys. That is my top 10 best wrestlers of 2016. Reviewing the list one more time. Number 10 is Ricochet. Not Ricochet, but Ricochet. Number 9, Kota Ibushi. Number 8, Kevin Owens. Number 7, Will Ospreay. Number 6, Broken Matt Hardy. Delete, delete, delete. Number 5, The Miz. Number 4, Kenny Omega. Number 3, Samoa Joe. Number 2, Shinsuke Nakamura. And number 1, AJ Styles. I do believe this is the top best wrestlers in the world today. But that is my opinion. Let me go to you. So I want to end this video talking about who the fans believe should be in the top list. If you agree with the list, let me know down below in the comments on the live chat. 2 thumbs up. If you don't, who would you have in the list? Who is your favorite wrestler of 2016? Who is the best wrestler, in your opinion, to ever do it in the ring for this year? The man to carry all of wrestling on his back. Who do you think is that guy? Let me go to the live chat and get that. Now, people here are saying that it's AJ Styles, and it's not even close. You might be right. Chris Jericho, AJ Styles, AJ, Kenny Omega, AJ Styles. Nobody is even disputing that it's AJ Styles. I love that. I love how everybody is just AJ. Someone finally said someone different, Seth Rollins. Again, could have easily put Seth Rollins on this list, but I just feel like his year this year wasn't. They didn't do much with him. I'm sorry. This was not the best year for him. I do feel like the injury, you know, and then him coming back, them not turning him babyface like they should have. It just hurt him. You know, I don't think they got the most out of him. Matt Hardy, broken Matt Hardy. Okay. AJ Styles. It just goes on AJ. Shinsuke Nakamura. We got Shinsuke Nakamura here in the live chat. That's really cool. I like Shinsuke. You know, I hope he does become someone that takes the world by storm. Pentagon Jr. All right, now we're getting interesting. Pentagon Dark. Lucha Underground. I like that. Kyle O'Reilly. He had a pretty good run in ROH this year. His feud with Adam Cole has been pretty good. Adam Cole, that's another one. Don't think he's top 10, but he's really good, of course. Johnny Mundo. Actually, let me stop real quick and talk about this. Johnny Mundo had an amazing year. Amazing year this year. Lucha Underground World Champion, Trio Champions, of course. He won a AAA tournament. Forgot what it was called. Someone tell me in the live chat what that AAA tournament was, but he won a AAA tournament, had an amazing performance in PWG's tournaments. He is having the career of his life in 2016. And without question, one of the best performers in WWE. Well, yeah, in WWE history, yeah, but I should have said wrestling today. That's what I wanted to say. Someone tell me, what was the name of that tournament? I can't remember it. Oh, man. Marty Scurll is good. I love Marty Scurll, the villain Marty Scurll. Yeah, there we go. Lucha World Cup. I appreciate that, sir. He won the Lucha World Cup. Lucha Libre World Cup. Finn Balor. Wow. Yeah, Finn Balor. That injury screwed him up. Like, I honestly believe he would probably be in Kevin Owens' place if he didn't get hurt. But that injury screwed Finn Balor up. Sorry. Matanza. That's a good one. That's a good monster character. Love Matanza. Let's see here. Bray Wyatt. If they ever do turn him babyface, we'll have a discussion about him being one of the top 10 wrestlers of the company or in the world. Yeah, guys. I love this comment. If Shawn Michaels is number one, AJ Styles is number two in terms of being the best wrestler in history. Wow. What a compliment for AJ Styles. But Chris Hero, who I think is coming back to WWE soon. That's Cassius Ohno. That's cool. Yeah, guys. Man. What a year. What a year for wrestling. What a year for wrestlers, female and male. I hope that we continue this in 2017. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining me for these top 10 videos throughout the week. That only leaves one. There can only be one more video to go. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central on the dot, we will have the end of the year awards. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it will be live. The best of the best of the best of the best of the best will get the awards. I might have a special guest here and there. I don't know how I'm going to make this work. It'll probably be last minute. But guys, join me tomorrow for the end of the year awards. It's going to be amazing. Thank you so much for making these top 10 lists awesome. But this is your boy, Deluxe Man, signing off. You guys, Merry Christmas. Have a good holiday season. Hanukkah season, whenever you celebrate. Yeah. Just have a good day. Have a good night. Enjoy yourself. Dag nabbit. You guys are awesome. You guys take it easy. Your boy, Deluxe Man, signing off. I am out. Peace.